My name is Matt. I nearly lost my life to suicide. And a couple of years ago, I called the Pikes Peak Suicide Prevention Program thinking it was my last day. After that, a couple of years later, I called them on the same day to tell the Pikes Peak Suicide Prevention Program that I was celebrating the anniversary of choosing to live and that my life is better. And I wanted them to know that. My name is Matt Atkinson, and I'm in my 40s. I'm a dad with two sons that I'm very close to. I'm an artist, I'm a writer, and I'm a pretty gentle person. I like myself, and I'm really proud that today I'm safe. I'm flawed. I have things about me that I wish could be different, things I'm still working on. But I am proud that I am safe. I am generally happy. And I don't feel that I'm at risk anymore. So the way this compares to my past self is actually pretty remarkably strong. A couple of years ago, I didn't see anything good about myself at all. I felt ashamed of myself. I was humiliated, and I thought I'd let everybody down. I hadn't. But when you're in the middle of a depression, you tend to think that everything is a catastrophe. And so situations that normally I would have been able to resolve had overwhelmed me, and I didn't know how to make decisions to get out of it. I was confused. I had a hard time sleeping. I also gained a lot of weight from depression. And my depression wasn't like I'd heard other people's. In my depression, I still loved the world. I still saw beauty in the world. I still saw experiences I wanted to have. I just thought that I wasn't entitled to them. I didn't deserve them. Taking care of myself or enjoying things felt like an indulgence that I hadn't earned until I could figure out how to change the conditions that I was in. The way I turned the corner, it took a while. And at first, I had the best friends I've ever had in my life supporting me. These were a couple of people that would stay up all night talking, and they could hear my stories, and they could hear the things I was ashamed of, that I wanted to confess, and never judge me, never once, never made me feel ashamed. And just told me, Matt, you're a good person. We love you. There is a way out of this that's healthy for you, that spares and even improves the future that you have. And they never gave up. And I was in my wife's arms many times in tears. And I did call the hotline for this program, and expected, because of how I judged myself, expected that if I told them everything going on in my life, all the flaws that I feel, that I would be scolded or lectured or given solutions for how to change all those things, and nobody ever judged me. I learned that in crisis services, no one is looking to find flaws with me or find fault with what I've done. They just cared about who I was and what I was going through and how to keep me safe through it. And that led me, once I was able to do that, I realized I could ask for help. So I found a really good, very qualified therapist and began seeing her once to twice every week. And that was life-changing. One thing that I've learned is that men are at a higher risk because we are less likely to talk to qualified professionals, mental health and medical professionals. And I found out that opening up and being vulnerable, being honest about those things, was the best thing that I ever could have done. And it changed my view of myself and of the connections I have with the people around me. When you're in pain, when you're going through this, your brain can be mean to you. Your brain tells you things are worse than they are. It tells you that you're a failure, and it reminds you over and over and over of things that you're ashamed of. And it makes it hard to make decisions when you're in conflicts. It's hard for you to figure out how to get out of confusing situations or the dread that you carry about everything. So what I would tell myself is, don't try to handle that alone. Don't be tough. Don't just tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to think positive and I'm just going to just hold it together because I'm tough and I'm smart and I'm all these things. This is not the time for that. This is the time where it's okay to fall apart. It's okay to do that and to let people know, I need your help. I need you to be strong for me right now because I'm not there. And doing that isn't selfish. It's not a burden. I was afraid that I was a burden to people. It's not that way. It was okay. I would tell myself it's okay to not have the strength to be able to manage this. The whole point of feeling suicidal is that your ability to manage things has been overwhelmed. So acknowledge it. Be honest about that. Don't try to hide that. Face it. Make that part of something that you accept about yourself so that you can give yourself permission to ask for help and to tell your closest trusted people what's going on. And let other people be a part of your strength. I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of exercising. I started eating better. I've lost 70 pounds since the worst of my depression in a healthy way. I draw and I paint. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks about lives and cultures that are different from mine. I have realized that curiosity is actually a strong antidote to depression. I've learned that developing empathy is a strong antidote to that feeling of isolation and that kind of like stoic toughness that makes you feel lonely rather than strong. So I listen to audiobooks about other cultures and other lives and other experiences, and it stretches my mind in ways that it can never return to the size it had been before that. So I'm trying to feed myself internally and physically in healthy ways. When I sent the Facebook message to you, I had come up on the anniversary of what I thought was my last day. I have pictures of me standing in the woods, basically saying goodbye to the beautiful Colorado mountains, and the streams and the boulders and the elk and the eagles that I've come to love. And I wanted to say goodbye. They've been precious to me, and I thought I was in just about my last day. And I made it through. I had a plan. I had a kit. Since then, I have turned over the things I'd collected as part of my plan to my friends as a celebration of life. And when I go through that day now, and I've gone through that day, this year was the third time to pass that anniversary, I realized that the people who do this work, the people who are on the other end of the crisis phone, they have a hard job. You all are hearing us in our worst moments, and you're just hoping that things get better when we hang up, and you don't always know that they are. Sometimes you probably know that they haven't been okay. And I can't imagine the turmoil that you go through. And I thought, if other people are part of my strength, other people should be part of my gratitude. And the people who are doing this work, who are carrying this weight, going home with it sometimes, need to hear that the efforts that you're making count. That there are those of us that are different, that are here at all because of programs like this.